Hello folks and welcome back to Sewn by Sew, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jess. This is my channel all about sewing, dressmaking and all things stitch related. And today I am bringing you a pattern review of the Tilly and the Buttons Pearl Cardigan. So stick around and let's talk about it. Right, so the envelope is here. Now, this is the Tilly and the Buttons Pearl, if you've never seen it before. Yes, the writing is reversed, but what's important is the cardigans, and you can't, it's a wrap cardigan, so it's fine. So you have a couple of different versions. There is the possibility of having like a bell sleeve, as you can see here, or a straight sleeve. I think there might actually be a short sleeve option. Let's have a look at the main envelope. No, just, oh yeah, so short sleeve, balloon sleeve, or long straight sleeve. There are your options. This pattern runs from a 30-inch bust to a 60-inch bust. So in Tilly sizing, a 1 to a 15, or in everybody else's sizing, a 6 to a 34. It also runs from a waist 24 inches to a waist of 53. Now, okay. I have not always been the biggest fan of Tilly and the Buttons patterns, and frankly, I still am not. But there are a few that slip through the net for me. I love the Eden coat, even if the instructions are questionable. I love the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel. Again, even though the bust fit is not great, to be honest, but I like the one I have and I wear it a lot. The other Tilly and the Buttons pattern I really want to like is this one. It's actually on my Make 9 this year. And I really want to make this for myself in like a cozy black knit, so I can wear it with jeans and boots and it would look really nice. My sister really wants one of these because she has a cardigan like this, the straight sleeve one, it's like a red, it's what we call red spaghetti hoop fabric, but it's just red fabric with little white circles. And it was our mum's actually, and then Ollie inherited it, and then I think, I can't remember how, but mum gives away her clothes quite freely when she's like, oh, that looks nice on you, have it. And you're like, oh, great, run. So Ollie's had it for years and it's worn to be threadbare, and she really wants another one. So I said, right, I've got a pattern for it. Let's make it. So I have cut out my pattern pieces from the original because I'm not that fussed about it. And then what I'm going to do when I make my own one is I will cut into it further. So I am making the size 6, which is in everybody else's language. I'm going to go into the booklet because it'll have the finished instructions as well. Remember with Tilly, the finished instructions are always on the inside, not like on the website where you want them. So the 6 is a UK 16, so that is a starting size of a 40-inch bust and a 34-inch waist, and a finished size of a 43 bust and a 35 waist, which is pretty much the size it needs to be. I don't need to do any grading, which is brilliant. So I have cut it out. The way the pattern pieces work is there is normally a 1 to 6 and a 7 to 15. So you can sort of cut out the one that works for you. I'm doing straight sleeves because that's what she wants. I'm using a stunning jersey, actually. Let's talk about that for a second. My sister chose this jersey. It's from A&M Textiles and it's beautiful. So it's black background. It's got these lovely bright orange and blues and greens and stuff. It's so pretty and it's gonna look stunning on her. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm really hoping there's some left for me to do something cute with. Don't know what, but something. Maybe some pajamas, TBC. So this is fabric we're using. And because I make it for someone else, I even got the amount you're meant to get, which, shock horror, can you believe it? How much am I meant to get? Why? Pattern companies, I'm sorry, I love you all, but why are there, we don't need layouts. We don't. We all know how to lay fabric out, or at least there's only one page in here. I did go through some digital instructions recently that had 5 different pages of layouts. Come on, that's insane. No, this has 2 pages actually. So in terms of fabric allowances, almost impossible to find. There's a cutting your fabric page and there's pattern layouts, but there is no chart. Why is there no chart? Sorry, you're seeing me do this live. Where is the fabric? Am I an idiot? Like, where's the fabric chart? No? There literally isn't one in the instructions. I mean, it'll be on the envelope, but why isn't it in the instructions? Okay, so the fabric requirements are for a long straight sleeve, 2.7 meter. Oh no, sorry. 2.7 meters if it's 45 inch wide, or 2.1 if it's 140 wide. So I think I got 3 because I wasn't sure how wide the fabric was. It's either 2.7 or 2.1. If it's 2.1 though, that leaves me a meter to do something nice with for me, which is fun. So it wants a fabric with at least 20% stretch and something sort of drapey. You don't want it too structured for this because you want it to drape around the body. Okay, so concerns I have already about this is I don't know how the bust is going to be drafted. It's a wrap cardigan, so arguably you can get away with it not being as good because you can tie it as tight as you want to. But on the flip side of that, you need enough bust space in the larger sizes, and that is traditionally where Tilly and the Buttons patterns go downhill, is poor bust drafting. And it's like noticeable in most patterns, the fact that even in the bigger sizes, the bust, like the fit is normally not brilliant. So I am a bit nervous about this, but I'm keeping an open mind. The pattern is, I got a physical copy and I got it in the sale for like £6 over Christmas. But I believe it's like 14 quid new, I think. Tell a lie, it's actually £18 or £18.50 new, which is a lot for a wrap cardigan that has 3 sleeve views. And saying that, one of the sleeve views is just shorter. Do I feel that is worth the money? I don't know, we'll come back to that at the end of the video. So this is the cutting out process. I thought the pattern pieces were really nicely labelled. Definitely, like, there's noticeably more labels, markings, etc. than on previous patterns. I did only need about 2 meters, so who knows what I'll do with the rest of the fabric, but something cute, possibly something pajama related, maybe a nice t-shirt. But I did think it was a nice and easy pattern to cut out. I mean, most of it is sort of straight pieces because it's jersey, but yeah, very simple. So here it is, looking all cute. So the next bit of the video, I'm going to talk about how it was making it, how I found the construction process, what I think of it, and then we'll round off as usual with thoughts now I've made it on price, wearability, accessibility, all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned. In terms of construction, we have, let me untie it. It's a wrap tie front cardigan. It's a true wrap, so you thread, you can open it fully like so, and then you thread the tie like that, through here at one side to pull it across, and then you wrap it around and tie it either at the front or the back. You have one longer tie and one shorter tie. I'll get onto that in a minute. It's a really simple make. It took me a couple of hours. I made it using my overlocker and my sewing machine for little bits of top stitching. Not that the pattern told me I needed to do that, it's just my own preference. And I would say this is definitely a very beginner friendly pattern. I don't think I looked at the instructions. I think I looked once just to double check the order it wanted me to do the neckband in and which side this was placed on. But yeah, it's very intuitive. I love that the sleeves are marked front and back notches, considering they're like a symmetrical, exactly the same sleeves. It really doesn't matter. And same things like the cuffs, you know, really it's a fold and stitch. Like, the Tilly instructions are getting better with the new makes. They're still not the best in the world, including moments, I don't know why we still don't do things like right as worn rather than just saying right. So for example, on the section down here where there's an opening on one side, not the other, it still says lay front hembands over the back hem, right sides together, you know, pin them, and then it's literally saying the left hand side seam, which doesn't help. You do have to say left hand as worn or right hand as worn, because you just have to, particularly when we're talking about the right side of things, because this is the right side of the fabric. It's also the left hand side of as worn, or it's the right hand side as I'm looking at it. So I'm not quite sure how we're still at a point where that's not specific in the instructions, but it'd be really, really nice if we really try and do that, because it's just unreasonably annoying to work with. Similarly, did I keep the pattern piece out? Oh, no, I didn't. For the waistband pattern piece, you don't cut it on a fold for the front side. You cut two, and there's notched edges on the same piece, and you cut two out. But it doesn't say on the notches that you only need them on one side, which I think is silly, because you do only need them. So I nearly sewed it so you could loop through both sides. And then again, we got to the old right or left, or whichever side it's on. But realistically, you can either mark on the pattern piece and say, this is the pattern piece for the right side, or you can put a note on the matches on the notches on the pattern piece to say, for the right hand seam, for the right hand seam as worn only, which other patterns do. So, just saying that, because I hate cutting notches that I don't need, because then you look at it and go, oh God, which piece is it? Whereas it's a lot easier if you only have one piece that has 4 notches on it. Just gonna say. I like how thick the cuffs are. I think that's cool. Really good as well for if you need to push it up your forearms, if you're doing dishes or whatever, or painting or whatever it is. I think the wrap is quite nice. I can't try it on myself because it's not the right size for me. But I will get some feedback from my sister and try and post that under this video. I was hoping to give this to her before filming, but I saw her on Tuesday and I hadn't done it in time. So I'm going to see her soon, and I'll get some live feedback, which I'll put in another vlog for you. But yeah, I can't really try it on because it's not the right size for me. But it looks good. I just FaceTimed her to show it, and she was really, really happy. I like the fit across the back. I like you get that kind of cinched look if you're using the ties to wrap all the way around. A small bugbear, because the Ali Olsen Highland wrap dress has it as well, and I just think it's pointless. A short tie and a long tie allows you to only tie this in one way on one side in one direction. Now, I'll be honest, with a wrap cardigan, you should just be able to tie it however you feel comfortable, but you can't, because one of the ties is long and one of them is short. So that would be a top tip from me. If you're going to make this and you want to be able to tie it loads of different ways, I'd cut both. Like, I'd cut 4 of the long version rather than 2 and 2, because yeah, I mean, like, so the short tie is, let's see if I can show you. Okay, it's really handy having it on the mannequin. So this is the long tie, nice and long. This is the short tie, so I'm going to pull it so the edges are together, and then see if I can show you. The short tie stops there, the long tie keeps going. This is unhelpful. So yeah, that would be my sort of caveat. If I was going to make this again, I'd just cut it so that I have 2 long ties, because honestly, who has time? Because look at this, if you want to do like a double wrap, which is how I would wrap something like this, you end up with this silly little stubby thing, which is just useless. That being said though, I like how quick it was to sew. I like how easy it was to sew. I do think it's a nice versatile one. I've made it in like a 4-way stretch jersey because that's what my sister chose. If I was going to make it for me, I'd probably make it like a black pointelle knit or something like that. More like a ballet gardy, but also like I'm more of a knitted girl than a jersey girl. But I do think it's nice. I like the end product. I like how professional it looks. Would I buy it again? So I bought this as part of my Make 9. I have a paper version, hence the paper instructions. So the paper version is £18.50 from the Sewing the Buttons website. The PDF is 14 quid. Again, I say this every time I do a pattern review, but particularly for these patterns. I bought it in the sale. So when I bought it at New Year's for my Make 9. I think I paid about 7 quid. Would I pay £18 for a paper version of this pattern? Realistically, is a wrap top, a straight back and some straight sleeves? Probably not. I don't know. I think there's potentially other cardigan patterns you could get where there's more variety. I do like the wrap. I think it's good. I just don't think it's 18 quid's worth of good. I do like it though. I think it's really good. I think she's gonna love it, which is great. In terms of my normal reviewing category, so we've done price. It's very makeable. It's very easy to make. I would definitely put this as a beginner. If you have an overlocker, even better, like you're going to be able to make this in about 5 minutes. But if you have a sewing machine, it's also very makeable, but make sure you have a way to finish the seams, because otherwise it's going to get real annoying. Is it wearable? I mean, yeah, I would say so. We'll get the final verdict on that when Olivia wears it, but she was very enamoured with it when she saw it on camera, so hopefully she really likes it. So I guess the big question then is, would I make it again? Absolutely, yes, and I'm going to make one for myself. Because I do think it's wearable and I do think it's something I could make in my wardrobe. However, with the caveat that I am going to give it longer ties on both sides because it's just silly. Do I feel it merits the money? I probably wouldn't buy it again, to be fair. So if I'd cut it up once and I couldn't use it again, I'd be a bit annoyed, but also I wouldn't buy it again because £18 is a lot for a cardigan. And I think the thing is, as always, my argument with this is it's not just £18. It's £18 plus 2 to 3 metres of jersey, which depending on quality could set you back 30 quid. So actually in total you look at a cardigan for about 50 quid, just under. So hopefully that was a useful pattern review. Lots of you asked me for it, so let me know in the comments if you found it useful, if you have your own thoughts from making the pearl, if you think there's anything I've missed, or just how you found wearing it and do you wear yours. I would love to know your thoughts, and I do read all the comments, and thank you very much for catching up and watching. Next week I have a fun comparison video to bring you, so stay tuned. Another Tilly pattern is featuring next week alongside a new wardrobe favourite, so stay tuned for that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you don't already, because it really does help. So see you then guys, bye.